It's an excellent exercise for developing your hand grip strength, which is again very important for being a firefighter. Here we've got firefighter Taylor, and she's demonstrating for us the dumbbell tricep pullover, which you're basically working your tricep muscles, chest muscles, and some of your back muscles. And it's a good exercise for strengthening, there again, upper body strength, which is essential for firefighters and also extremely good for you at home as well for just performing daily tasks. Alrighty, so y'all basically just gotten a little idea of what we do out here at the training center with the fire recruits. We've observed a type of circuit training, which is very good for working all different kinds of muscles in the body. And it's also, once again, you throw in high impact in there, you're strengthening bones and getting some cardiorespiratory fitness in there as well. So basically all of these techniques are what we use to keep our firefighters fit and physically ready for duty as firefighters for whatever they may face on a day-to-day basis. But here's the question. If a workout like this is what we use for physically fit firefighters to improve their fitness on a day-to-day basis, why can't you do the same workout at home? It's just an idea. First of all, what you need to do is to see your doctor, or at least talk with your doctor before you start an exercise program. But basically the bottom line is you too can improve your physical fitness on a day-to-day basis. You just have to get out there and do it.
So what do you think? Find anything you can incorporate into your daily fitness program? A Turkish get-up or a burpee jump sit-up or two? You have to admit, at least they're fun to say. The good news for firefighters in Cobb is that opportunities to work out are all around. It's just a matter of discipline. When we return, a closer look at a most recognizable piece of firefighter gear. Welcome back to 3rd Alarm. Fully decked out in all their gear, a firefighter is quite easily recognized. From their heavy-duty pants and boots, to their well-insulated jacket and gloves, to their air pack and mask, which provide life-sustaining fresh air. It's a firefighter's gear that allows them to get the job done. There's one piece of iconic gear, though, that stands out far above the rest. It's rich in history and goes a long way to protecting a very valuable asset. Today, we're here at Station 8 with the fire engineer Jason Jones. And Jason, I can see by the stuff on the table here, we got a lot to talk about in a short period of time. Tell me, firefighting's been around for a long time. When was the first fire helmet invented?
Well, it's credited to Jacobus Turk, around about 1740. Developed the fire helmet. It was actually known as a fire cap.
Why was it called a cap?
Oh, it resembled a jockey cap, something that you'd see on a jockey that rides a horse, like a helmet.
Okay. That, you told me earlier, lasted, what, about 100 years or so, and then in the 1700s we saw a pretty major design change.
Yeah, a significant change. Henry Gradicap, who was a luggage maker, was also a volunteer firefighter.
Okay.
And as you know, most firefighters like to improve on different things and tools that they use. So he created a helmet that's similar to the shapes of the traditional helmets that we see today, which was known as the New Yorker. Had a long bill off the back, was sewn together, 4 pieces sewn together to create the combs, and also had that long bill on the back to protect the firefighter from debris and water rolling off the back of their, so it wouldn't get down the back of their necks.
So the combs were put in there for for stylishness or for strength?
Well, both.
Okay.
It's you know, making a helmet out of leather, you have to piece it together.
Okay.
Okay, one piece of leather. They would take that, and it would also create that rigidness that would actually serve as a structural stability of the helmet and providing protection.
Okay. We saw in the early 1900s industrialization hit major league in North America.
Sure.
How did that affect the design and the build of the fire helmet?
Well, new materials came about. In the early 1920s, the Carnes brothers, who took the business over from Gradicap in the 1850s, they saw a need for firefighters that, you know, volunteer fire departments were not wealthy, so they needed equipment that would meet their needs but was also affordable. Even though the fire helmets back then, the leathers were $3 to $6, that was still too expensive. So what they did was they come up with a new material. They took a new material back then called aluminum. They pressed it into this shape of a helmet. This is a basic design that's similar to what they would have had early 1900s. This one, however, is about 1940s. Still retaining that same shape, same design with the rigidness up at the top to deflect that load that might hit the firefighter in the head, and the water roll off the back of the helmet, keeping it away from their necks. So a lightweight helmet, also cost effective.
Gotcha. So what kind of technology changes have happened, say, over the last 40 and 50 years to change the design and makeup of the fire helmet?
Well, as you know, in all things, plastics came in
Gotcha.
into being used in most things, and they have this type of helmet and this type of helmet, which were produced out of thermal plastics, easily molded, still also creating the effectiveness of protection on firefighters for that time period, and also the cost effectiveness for departments, making it, you know, easier to supply their firefighters and meet their needs.
Now I notice there's a couple of different types of eye protection on these. Why don't you quickly tell us what we've got going with eye protection for firefighters?
Okay. Well, on this older helmet right here, these are called Borks, flip downs, okay, developed by a firefighter from New York City. They're easily flip down to protect the firefighter's eyes, okay. Then we move on to this type of helmet right here, which has goggles and Borks. The goggles give it a surrounded eye protection and close the eyes just to protect them more. And as you can see on this fire helmet, we have a face shield which is easily put up and maneuvered down, which does also protect the eyes from any kind of material that might fly. But the firefighter can also lower their head, and it also protects them from different heats and, and stuff like that.
Now, one of the things we don't want to be remiss about, and one of the most identifiable pieces on a fire helmet, is not really a safety-related piece, but it's a firefighter, a decent firefighter wouldn't be caught dead without one, and that's the fire shield.
Definitely.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, fire shields, and I have a couple of examples. They're made out of leather. They just take a piece of leather and they cut it out. Then they stamp them, paint them, or as you can see on some of these right here, we have the letters and numbers sewn on the helmets. Helmet shields. That came about, it's credited to the Carnes brothers back around 1850. They made buttons, badges, stuff like that. They saw Gratacap's design a fire helmet, banded together with him to put the shields on there, and that's just an identifiable item for firefighters. It tells who they are, where they work, and what their job is.
And having been in the business as long as we have, we also know that although departments issue helmets, we know that firefighters like to customize them. And I've noticed on this one right here, this firefighter is carrying a wedge for sprinkler systems. He's got a rubber band, and a lot of guys will put flashlights and lights on there so they can see to help customize them. So customization of the fire helmet, a lot like motorcycles, is up to the individual, correct?
Definitely. So, as long as they retain what their department
maintain department standards. Well, this has been an eye-opening experience. There's a lot here, and we really appreciate you sharing this with us today, and we look forward to talking to you again sometime soon. I want to thank Jason for his valuable knowledge on helmets in that last piece. You know, oftentimes when we do station tours, we show the kids all our stuff, and they like to try on our helmets, and they, a lot of times, put it on backwards. However, that isn't right. I guess it's the whole ball cap thing they want to do. Put on properly, a fire helmet offers the eye protection in the front, and like Jason was talking about, it provides the protection with the lip in the back to make sure that no debris or water will come down and fall. I suppose I set myself up for that. Yeah, the next 3rd Alarm firefighter pranks and how to avoid them. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. That's about a wrap for today. I hope you learned a little, laughed a little, and most importantly, look forward to our next episode of 3rd Alarm.